What's up, everybody? We are back, and we are live with all the pew.
Yeah.
Pews.
Let's go, baby. It's that time again.
Visionary value. How are you, visionaries? How's your week been?
Visionary
Crazy, I
value.
bet. What up,
Man.
T-Qron? How's your week been, my brother?
Ooh, like you said, it's crazy. Every day is a movie. Sometimes it feels like a sequel or a rerun of some,
true.
TV show.
Every day
But it
is
gets
a movie.
it gets weirder and weirder. Oh, and weirder. I don't know. What about you? How's everything with you?
Man, man, I'm just glad to have the people I have in my life and glad to be so busy that at this juncture right now, I'm so busy I can't just, sit around and watch the news and get a stomach ache and because I probably would. It's man, one thing this show has taught me, bro, is that if you really want to know what's going on, you look to the financial markets, right? They have a lot more good information than your major news, like what's going on in the news today could mean nothing tomorrow. But the markets tell you where things are going in a way that's not political. You know what I mean? They tell you what's going on with politics so you have an idea. But the markets don't care who's in charge. You know what I mean? The markets don't care about that or, what side you're on. The markets just tell the truth, a brutal truth that it's kind of best if you learn to deal with that truth, right? That's the best thing for you. So, man, I appreciate that. And I've learned to listen less to the political talking heads and pay more attention to your Bitcoin, your crypto, and your market guys. And like Kalshi, stuff like that. Because if something pops up on Kalshi, like, hey, what are the percentages that this happens? It's like, I didn't even think of that. Who's thinking of that? Okay. You know what I mean? So, and then to find out that Kalshi is being like, Kalshi is being like used by like major political figures in the White House, in other countries, in Europe. They're literally using the Kalshi betting market to make decisions.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So,
you got to.
With that in mind, between the markets and Kalshi, I really don't need the political talking heads anymore. Honestly, because the information I'm searching is there and more accurate than what the other people get. You know what I'm saying? It's not rocket science, man.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So,
I just feel like the reason you get that is because money. Those things, those stories, those headlines, or lack thereof, move money, big money.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it has to be a little bit more accurate than your average narrative, so to speak, of bias. You know what I'm saying? So
and once again, it reacts without bias. Like for instance, I'll do that. If for instance there's, and this is completely facetiously, just telling a fake story here. But if there's, say, facetiously in an alternate world, and in this alternate world, there is a war going on. And in that war, where that war is going on is a place that is very oil rich. And the land the facetious land we're talking about is very dependent on oil all over the land, right? And one guy from one place that's at war with that country says, hey, we're not going to be at war for the next week or so. Right? In the facetious place with the facetious leader. And when the facetious leader says that, the facetious markets in the pretend world completely move and react to that. You understand no matter what the talking heads say or what side anybody's on, it means that in that world, they need that oil, and the entire rest of the world and all of the richest people and smartest money people will behave and move upon that oil being released. So there's something legit there, regardless of how you feel about any of it. You know what's really going on, and then you can decide how you feel versus being told how you feel without getting the actual information, if that makes sense, right?
This facetious world that you speak of seems to have similar parallels to what this movie that I'm watching. It's actually like a mini series. It plays out every day. You should check it out 7 days a week.
Yeah, it's a great show. Anyway, I'm kidding. Fall of America is not the name of the movie. Come on, people. Anyway, Yeah, dude. Man, the Bitcoin news. I would say to me the most shocking things in the markets this week are the Bitcoin news, what's going on with Bitcoin, and the tech. Tech has been absolutely key, and there are big changes coming, which are having big market, impacts. So those are the two things I would say were the biggest things in the market. In that, a lot of the other stuff is just real volatile right now. And that's really
Oh, it
the only way
is.
you can say it. It's like we can't put our hat on anything when it comes to, say, the oil markets or the energy markets, because it's just too up and down. But what are some long-term things going on? Okay, well, NVIDIA stocks and the way chips are being made and what Google is doing. And then crypto, the bear market maybe being over, some people are saying, and then some people are saying, no, it's about crypto winter time due to the government's doing things that are messing with the markets. Once again, not politically biased on either side. You're just getting the real information. And that's...
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There's a lot been going on. So this week, I mean, let's be honest, geopolitical tensions are making stocks plummet. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. It's called FUD, FUD. It's clouding people's vision, and rightfully so. I mean, when people are running for the hills, first thing they're gonna do is run with their money, right? Cash out. Whatever you got, whether you're in the green, whether you're in the red, take it. It's all going to zero.
Yep.
That's been the narrative on the bear side forever, right? I mean, of course, I've only been invested for 5 years, but history shows that the market has not crashed and gone to zero, no matter how many wars, no matter how many recessions, no matter how many depressions have come and gone since the beginning of the markets, right? It's gradually gone up. So why do you think that this particular event or these occurrences that are happening right now is going to make it go to zero? If you feel that way, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, just when in doubt, zoom out. That literally is what you need to do, because that gives you a whole picture of what really happens over the course of time, right? Yes, the last week was horrible. Yes, the last month was horrible. Oh my God, we've had a terrible year. Yes, we're in a bear market. Okay, cool. But has it ever gone to zero? Ask yourself. No, it has not. Now, your individual holding, because you bought like a really crappy company, might have gone to zero, but that's an isolated, you know what I'm saying? That's an isolated play. That's one stock. But if you're invested in something decent, there's thousands of really good stocks out there, and then there's thousands of really bad stocks out there. If you're investing in something that in the long term will rise, you'll be okay. It's going to hurt for a little while. It's going to hurt. But you know what they say, right? No pain, no gain.
Well, and it is something we talked about a while back, and it's a saying that keeps coming up in my mind as I look at all this, and that is time in the market always beats time in the market. And when you said that, I just think that's a brilliant, it says so much. It's profound, right?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. To your point, time in the market is better than time in the market, because nobody's been able to time the market properly. If you've been able to time the top and the bottom of every, hats off to you. You are, you're freaking amazing. You should be like a billionaire or a trillionaire or whatever, because you know what I'm saying. But most of us regular folk out here, 99% of us, we don't know. We have inklings. We can only go off of, charts, patterns, history, probability. But what tomorrow brings, who knows? That's the beauty of the market. You know what I'm saying? People often sit there and go, well, okay, so first time investors will get in. They're all hyped up. They've heard about this one stock. It's going to squeeze. It's going to go from $10 to $100 in a matter of days. Get in now. Don't miss out. Cool infomercial, right? They buy in. They put their little $100 in. They put their little $50 in. Somebody puts 1,000. Somebody puts their life savings in. Okay. And then what happens? They see it rise. Oh my God, my 10 is now 20. My 20 is now 25. Holy, babe, we're going to be rich. Call your job. Quit. And the next day, rug pull, bow. Oh, now it's all the way down to 15.
Bruno.
Mike, I told you it was a scam. You should have never bet the house money on that. What are we going to do? Don't worry, babe. It'll be back. It'll be back. The next day, it drops to 12. Oh, you're still up a couple bucks on each share. Okay. But now that potential profit is gone now, right? You're watching it go down. And then you're like, you drops another dollar the next day. You're like, you know what? Oh my God. I'm watching all these YouTubers and they're telling me it's going to go back. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. It's going to go back. It's going to be a short squeeze. $100 a share. That's what I'm selling. I'm not selling it. And then it goes below your price. And then you're in the red. You're like, holy, you don't know what to do. Okay. You don't know what to do. If this is your first go around, you're like, holy crap. And then you sell in the red and you take that loss and you realize that loss. And you know what happens? You feel like it's a scam. No, it's not a scam. Well, the only thing that was a scam is your effing greed to try to get rich quick from the market. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And that's it? Really? Okay, it happens sometimes. It happens sometimes, right? It happens a lot of times. There's a lot of people that get in and out and make a lot of money real quick. Cool. But if you're a beginner and you think you're going to do that without knowing how to do that, out of your mind. Out of your mind.
Yeah.
So the only thing that's a scam about the market is your greed to want to get rich quick. Okay? There's a reason it's called investing. Okay? You don't invest for 5 minutes. That's called day trading. Okay? There's a difference. There's a huge difference between trading and investing, right? Investing is long term. Okay? Trading is that, just that. I trade you this for that, a short term. I'm not going to hold it forever. I'm not married to this stock. This isn't my life savings. This isn't what's going to. I'm not cashing this out at the age of 60. I'm cashing this out 2 days from now, or when it hits my target price next week. You get what I'm saying? So,
yeah. An active trader versus like somebody who plays the markets on a daily. We like to call them gamblers sometimes, versus somebody who's thinking long term. It's a very different mindset. Absolutely, man.
And don't get me wrong, you can be both. I'm both. I have certain stocks that I'm holding long term. Nvidia's been my longest hold. But then I'm either sometimes within the same portfolio or in the other portfolio, I'll just trade. And I'll take my profits from the trades and I'll dump it right back into long term. Buy more shares. And that's just, I personally think that's the best way to do it, especially when everybody's losing money in their long-term portfolios or their 401k and crying about it. The only people that are really crying about it are the people that don't understand that this is the best time to buy. Not financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Clearly, I'm sitting here in a Wu-Tang shirt and a talented MFer hat. Shout out to Sister Show.
Let's go.
Yeah, I am not a financial advisor, and neither is Mike. Okay, so your wins are your wins, your losses are your losses. This is just commentary on what we're doing, right, and how we're feeling. Yeah, man. I personally feel like this is some of the best time to buy, and I'm not gonna lie. Even though I've invested in 5 years, I've been invested for like 5 years, off and on, for the last. Well, I'm saying the first 3 years I was kind of off and on, but the last 2 years I've just been. I'm not going back out because there was a lot of uncertainty around like 2022, and I was just like, but that was when I was still kind of new and learning, and now I realize that those are the moments when you have to buy. You buy in the red. You buy when everybody's running. Okay, you buy when everything's on sale. When you go to Target and you saw I don't know, just take anything. Okay, let's say you saw a TV. and you're like, whoa, this 50-inch TV is $200. That's a great deal. I'm going to buy that one day or when I get paid or whatever. Okay. And then you
Mhm.
come back 3 days later to the same Target, and now that's TV is $150. It just went on sale. Man, that TV is amazing. I still
Let's
don't have that
go.
150. I still don't have that
Yeah.
150. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. I promise. And then you go back 2 days later, and now that same TV is 50% off. You're gonna cream yourself. Well, not really, but you get my point. You're gonna be so ecstatic about it, and you're gonna buy it at $100. So why is it that when you were so attracted to a stock at $200 and you really wanted to buy it, and then you saw it go on sale for 50% off and you didn't buy it? Can somebody explain the logic to me?
Because you think it's going to keep going down would be the only thing I could think would motivate you to not buy, right?
But then let's go back to what we just discussed about what we just said a few minutes ago, where look at the history, look at the charts. If you're in decent companies, if you're invested in decent stocks, if you're invested in index funds, safe stuff, okay? 90, well, 9 out of 10 is always going to, well, actually, 10 out of 10, because we remember we never went back to zero. We never went to zero, okay? Not back to zero. We never went to zero, like as a whole, as a market, the stock market, okay? So, bottom line, yes, it can be scary, but those are the moments when millionaires and billionaires are created. Granted, you have that much capital to buy that much stock, that when it starts appreciating in value, it makes you a millionaire or a billionaire. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's really when I feel you should buy. Is that your sentiment as well, Mike?
I mean, it's the only time to buy, in my opinion. You know, when you're up, when you can look and go, I paid facetiously $100 for this stock, and now it's at 180. That's the time to sell some. That's the time to go, I'm going to stay at 150 and sell $30 a share. Or diversify, knowing that I can still be to the profit at 130 and take $50 a share and buy a bunch of crypto, or, just divest that 50 into a sister stock or the index it's on, just to hedge my bets in something I fully am committed to, where I'll profit multiple and kind of, back up that profit, and that if this specific, thing falls, the overall index more than likely will stay up. And while it's slower, I've invested in all of it. I mean, that to me is what you do. And the thing is, it's, people are scared, this and that, but, at the end of the day, once again, like we say, Warren Buffett says a lot of times, be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy, So,
amen to that. Yes, yes, yes. And some of you young folk out there may sit there and go, well, Warren Buffett's 97 years old. What does he know? Well, he's one of the richest guys that ever lived, bro. What do you mean?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
And I mean, yeah, you got to take some things into account. A lot of these old cats are behind, but look at the markets. Look at the people running their companies, because all your Warren Buffetts, all of these older cats, you know what they have? They have a team. Team. Probably Warren Buffett has hundreds, but even the smaller guys, you have a team of 10, 15 young cats staring at crypto, helping you write policy. Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, they're all changing how they're doing business due to crypto and the changing in fees and markets now. So, yeah, you're going to get what we like to call boomer advice here and there. And some of it is solid advice. Is why boomers got all the money.
Absolutely.
And then whatever you may disagree with or not, like, you can go and look at your crypto markets and look at those hedges.
Yes, sir.
And look at the companies they're invested in and maybe what they're doing, right? So, I absolutely agree. One of my favorite guys, he only comes out every couple of weeks. He's definitely on the spectrum, and that's why I like him. He has come out this week with all the market volatility, this is Stock Curry. We profit with Stock Curry. I don't know if that's his real name. But these are stocks right now because, yeah, we're being hit with negativity and it's crazy. But right now, this guy is going, these are the stocks to buy. As we're talking about buying, these are the stocks to buy right now. And I love what he's talking about, and they're all affordable. We'll check out some of this.
Okay.
So
all right, let's see what
Stock
Curry got.
These are the 3 stocks that I am looking to buy right now. And the first stock is Amazon, ticker AMZN.
I've talked about this
Amazon
one.
You are correct. You are correct, sir. Yes, you have. Absolutely.
had a major sell-off post-earnings when they announced that their earnings growth was going to be a little bit lower than expected. But since then, the stock has been going up, reaching higher lows each time. And this is bullish and indicates that the stock is starting to rally once again. Keep in mind, Amazon stock was trading at over $250 per share just a few months ago, about 20% higher than where it is today. Amazon stock isn't extremely undervalued. It's not this unbelievable and incredible buy. But as I've seen with Amazon stock over the past few years, anytime you can buy the stock at a fair price, that is the time to buy. Because Amazon is not one of these stocks that falls to these incredibly low prices. Generally speaking, Amazon will fall down to fair value, and then it turns around and rallies to extremely overvalued. So anytime Amazon stock gets down to a fair valuation like it is right now, that is actually going to be your best time to buy. And right now, the trailing PE ratio is 28. Amazon has a forward PE ratio for 2026 of 26 and a 2-year forward PE ratio of 21, falling to a PE ratio of 17 in 2028 and all the way down to 15 in 2029. And keep in mind that the overall S&P 500 PE ratio is at 34. And on top of that, over the past 5 years, the S&P 500 has averaged a PE ratio of 27. So when we consider Amazon's 2026 forward PE ratio of 26, it's either undervalued or fair value, depending upon how you want to calculate it. Either way, it's a great stock to buy right now.
There you go.
And it's why analysts have a $280 price target.
280, dog. You know what I mean? What do you think?
What's the current price right now?
Current price is, well, it has a 280 value. I don't know. Oh, 211. Right now it's at 211. Wow. And it's up 5%.
I haven't been looking at Amazon the last week or so. I've been focusing more on like the Microsofts that have fallen heavily. I've been looking at Metabook. You know what I'm talking about, Facebook or Meta stock. But Amazon's now on my radar. I think I may want to jump back in at around the 200 mark if it goes down to 200.
Right.
I don't know where it dropped to recently. Again, I haven't been keeping an eye on it. So that's why I appreciate this one, because you guys know that I've talked about Amazon and how much I love the company. And I've previously held Amazon stock, made a little bit of a profit on it, not too much, but hey, I might buy back into it. So that's solid.
Let's get it.
I like Amazon.
All right, yeah, Amazon, goodbye. Like he said, it's not one of those companies where you're ever going to get it at 75% off. That's just not how it is. It is a blue chip, what we used to call blue chip stocks. It's one of those, it's never going to go below a certain amount because of the value it just inherently holds. However, there are better times to buy it than others. And as Stock Curry is saying, that is one of those times. Now we're going to go on to the next one. This one was a little surprising to me, but I want you to get your opinion on it. Let's check it out.
And that stock is Micron, ticker
MU.
Woo. And last week,
what a run.
Micron reported blowout earnings. Their revenue almost tripled, and their estimates were far above what analysts had expected.
Yep.
Wow, right? Like You know how we talk about being mad? I was chasing the NVIDIA high, bro. I was chasing the NVIDIA high, looking at all coins, and Micron just went right under my day because I saw it. You know what I mean? You know how when you trade, you look and you're like, okay, it's right there. Bop, bop, bop. You know what I'm like?
I'm sick on this one too, bro. Because you know what? I remember just years ago, not too long ago, I'd say within the last 2 years, maybe, it was like $70. You used to trade for like $60 or $70. Look at the chart. Well, you don't have to pull it up, but you guys, and then it went to like four something, almost $500 a share. And he's right. They had an amazing earnings report and just bow. It's been taking a hit ever since. But to me, that's just a lot of profit taking. You get what I'm saying?
Buying on sale, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. Buy. Because what that stock did from 70 to like 4, whatever its high was, god damn, that's a lot, bro. Yeah, it's killing. Like I'm an NVIDIA holder and I'm jealous.
Micron's revenue nearly tripled in the last quarter. The stock is up more than 350% in the past year, and I personally 350% go a lot higher. Earnings per share came in at $12.20 versus only $9.31 expected, and revenue came in at $23.86 billion versus only $20 billion expected. Micron has been benefiting from soaring demand for NVIDIA's graphics processing units, or GPUs, and this is all part of the boom in AI demand. And this has caused memory prices to absolutely skyrocket, which is providing a huge boost to Micron. For the current period, the company expects future revenue to come in at $33.5 billion, up from only $9.3 billion a year ago, implying a growth of more than 200%. Micron also said adjusted earnings per share will be about $19.15, which is massively higher from the expected earnings per share of only $12 that people were expecting. And future earnings could be even higher because Micron's CEO said that it can't even deliver enough memory to its key customers after its blowout earnings. Micron's CEO said we're only able to supply for our key customers in the midterm about half to 2/3 of their requirements. In short, Micron's revenue is growing by 200% per year, and it's only able to supply about half of the demand that it's getting from customers. Meaning, once they're able to bring more processing units online and they're able to manufacture more chips, we could be looking at a 400% or more growth in Micron's revenue. And all of this is equating to a very, very cheap price on Micron stock. The trailing PE ratio on Micron stock may be 51, but their forward PE ratio is dirt cheap. With
look at that
2026 forward PE ratio at only 7 and a 2027 forward PE ratio of only 4. And with the average tech PE ratio of 34 right now, a forward PE ratio of only 7 makes Micron stock dirt cheap. We're looking at a potential 600% rally in Micron stock this year alone. Analysts have a very conservative estimate of $537 on my.
So right now, I'm sick.
It's at 405 right now, roughly 404.59. As of you know what? Let's look it up right now. I have to. I was gonna try not to, but I gotta. Micron stock. All right, let's look. Boom. Okay. Boom. Okay, so it's only 357 right now. Okay.
That's a huge upside still.
Wow, it is. Look at that. Look at that.
Yes, but zoom out to when it was around the 60s and 70s, real quick. Go to like the 5-year chart or whatever. See if you can pull that one up. See it? It did nothing. It did nothing for so long. This was the period I was watching it in, and this is why I didn't buy it back then. And now look at it.
$93 5 years ago would be. So if you bought $1,000 worth, say you bought 10 shares, That $93. So that would be $930 for 10 shares. Now you could literally cash out roughly $350 per share. A little more than actually that 3,500 on the 1,000 you invested and not touch your profits and still be up. That's crazy, dude. On 10 shares, on 10 basic shares. That's
why I'm sick right now.
And look at that, though. Look at that right there. 320. So, and then in 1 year, boom. See, and it's like, that's why people, okay, guys, this is why it is so important to understand and not get swept up in what everybody's doing right now, right? Because if, in May of last year, if you would have bought at $64 a share, holy crap.
Just last year.
You'd be up almost $300 a share. You'd be up well over $200 a share as we speak. And then at its low peak, 461, you'd be up $400 basically dollars a share this year alone. Now, if you just did year to date, you're still up a little lower. But as our man Stock Curry is saying, you know what I mean? You ride this roller coaster. Ooh, it's a roller coaster. And then you're right here, and then you see that it is dirt cheap. It can only fulfill half of the needs because it's so in demand, and it is tripling at like every quarter. So yeah, man, it's yeah, bro. So, and then you look right here.
Viewers,
sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say our viewers can see that I'm literally kicking myself in the behind in my own head right now for my facial expressions. Yes, guys, I'm really hurt over this one, but go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm just saying it's on sale. All you see right now is a sale. If you're paying attention, what you see right now is a stock that really, if you don't act soon, once again, not advice. What we're doing is in theory only. Make your own choices. Make your own decisions. We are not giving you any advice. Theoretically, only theoretically. But theoretically, like what T-Qron was saying at the beginning of the show, right? If you go into Target and you see Micron on the shelf and you look there and you're like, whoa, Micron is slashed. The price is slashed on it. Does that mean that it's always going to continue to do that until they sell out of the product? No. Because if you go a month ago, if you go a year ago, and if you go 5 years ago, you're looking at that. And then you go over back here to a guy like Stock Curry right here. He's showing you the conservative and the fact that even trading higher than it is right now, it's still set. It's a strong buy, a super strong buy, and it's set to go up to 537 by the end of the year. And that's extremely conservative. And it could go up to 700, it's saying. And lowest would be 400. And then, once again, we look at it and it's still trading at less than 400. So even at its low, you'd still be making money on it.
So what's his third pick?
Let's check it out.
But I'm thinking about adding more and buying some more shares on. And that stock is PayPal.
Boom.
PayPal.
PYPL. And as you can see on the chart, PayPal has been pretty much a falling knife for a while.
Check this
out.
But
over the past few months, it's really started to flatten out and it stopped going down. Technically, we usually see this kind of tightening or consolidation right before a breakout. And let me show you the fundamental analysis, which gives me a reason to believe that the breakout is going to be to the upside. PayPal has the lowest trailing PE ratio of any stock on this list at only 8. Now, the future growth isn't great on PayPal, but the current valuation is so cheap, you just can't pass it up. And there's a couple of other reasons why I'm really looking at PayPal stock right now. But I can't talk about the good without talking about the bad. There's a reason why PayPal stock has fallen. And one of those is the fact that last month, their CEO quit, causing PayPal shares to plunge 20% in a single day. PayPal is also facing a class action lawsuit in which a firm is claiming that they've committed securities fraud. But one analyst believes that while spooked investors are going to quote unquote puke in the hole, he believes that PayPal bulls are set to win big. A herd of PayPal investors is sprinting for the exit. But the math suggests that they might be running away from a fortune. While the market blinked twice at PayPal's latest guidance, this analyst argued that the reaction from spooked retail investors is actually a massive buy signal. After all, Warren Buffett did say, be greedy when others are fearful. For those willing to ignore the noise, the numbers show a cash-generating machine that is effectively buying itself back at a discount. The biggest catalyst for the shift is a change in the corner office. PayPal announced Tuesday the appointment of Enrique Lores, the veteran chief executive from HP, to lead the turnaround for PayPal. Under Lores, HP used aggressive stock buybacks to make remaining shares more valuable rather than inventing a new flashy gadget. By cutting the share count in half, HP made every remaining share twice as valuable as before. And this analyst believes that PayPal's new leadership is about to run the exact same play.
All right, so there you go. We've got PayPal, we've got Micron, and we've got Amazon. And those are the three stocks that Stock Curry is saying, while they may not be the lowest they're ever going to be, it is a really, really good time to get in. And Micron might be at the lowest it will ever be. Like, yeah, for real, man. So, I don't know, man. What are your thoughts?
So my thoughts are 2 out of 3 of them were already I'm well aware of, and one I've personally bought before and made a little bit of money on. The other I've never. I wish I did. I really do. You guys have seen me kick myself in the butt during this episode. The third one wasn't on my radar. I'm not looking at PayPal, but $46 a share.
Also, the idea that the guy who just took over is, kind of has mastered the buyback to increase the value of the company and increase, their trading positions. And there is no reason to think he wouldn't do the exact same thing now, right? There's no reason to think he wouldn't do that. So
sounds like that new guy is
talented mofo. Yes, absolutely. Wanted to go into a thing. I had to dig in, bro, because the stalwart, the strength, the power of the tech stocks, the memory chip stocks, excuse me.
Did you just say memory chick?
Memory chip stocks took a hit, lost roughly $100 billion in market value this week. With Micron alone down about 15% and shedding market capital, excuse me. So triggering this is what's going on, man? Right? I'm not going to be like, oh, stocks are down. Maybe geopolitical, maybe, but maybe it's just the history and the well-set precedent of how tech goes in history throughout all of history. And there is no reason to think that the most advanced and smartest tech ever wouldn't continue down the same path. So what we're looking at here is a trigger. One of the triggers for the falling prices and the processing stock drop is the catalyst appears to be the new research from Google or Alphabet on its TurboQuant compression algorithm. It suggests AI data centers and models could require significantly less memory than previously anticipated, potentially reducing needs by up to 6 times in some cases through more efficient quantization and compression techniques. Long story short, there is more computing in your phone right now than in the 1980s had rooms full of computers and, processors and servers basically to, do the kind of things right now that AI can do on your phone in 10 seconds. It would take days.
Absolutely.
think about it. If you're
technology.
AI, what's your biggest hurdle right now? Data centers, the space, the resources
Hmm.
needed for you, AI, to do your job if
Yep.
you're AI. So, what's the most logical thing to do if you're a computer and you want to continue to grow? Is to figure out how to do what you need to do, but take up less resources, use less electricity, need less square footage for your data centers, use less fresh human needing water. If you can do that and you can condense and do the same amount or more, that of course is going to be something you're going to do. And I'll do you one better. If at the point you're a huge AI data center and you have to stop doing what you want to do because you require more resources, the very next thing you're going to spend all your time and energy on is figuring out how to require less resources so you can get back to what you were originally programmed to do. So those are my thoughts on it. And that's kind of what they're saying here. What are your thoughts?
I have to look into it more. I don't know how this is going to play into what's going on as far as the AI trade goes. Sounds like it might take away from other companies' profits if Google is doing something to this effect. And it sounds like Google might be going up soon, a lot higher than what it was. Google's down too, just like every other Mag 7 stock. They're all down. So with that being said, definitely something to look into, some to research. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Absolutely. And remember, this looks like a classic momentum unwind and sector rotation rather than a fundamental collapse in AI spending. Key context. Shortages were real in early 2026. And, the infrastructure build out created unprecedented pressure on HBM and related memory, with those prices spiking. Of course, efficiency gains can be double-edged. Techniques like turbo quant could make AI cheaper and more scalable, potentially increasing overall adoption and long-term compute demand. But more models, more interference, broader applications. HBM versus other memory splits, high bandwidth memory tied to NVIDIA style accelerators has been somewhat more resilient in the sell-off than commodity DRAM or flash in A&D. Analysts noted the drop reveals a divide in the AI trade. And then the broader market backdrop, this hit amid a wider tech semiconductor pullback with volatility in AI-related names. With that volatility, once again, I believe is related to the overall concerns for energy in our world right now due to the wars and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I don't like that W word. That's my.
No, I'm just saying the volatility in the AI and tech markets are due to the greater volatility of energy and supply. You know what I mean? Yep. So, yeah. And not so much that sector itself experiencing volatility due to, advances in technology. That's not really where the volatility is, as what we just read. NVIDIA's and those stocks have proved to be more solid and long-term. The issue is maybe more with things outside of its own realm. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You think? Yeah, for sure. Speaking of what's going on in the world today, what about them oil prices?
Yeah, they're doing great.
Oh, are they?
I want to stay in the. Well, look, man.
If you're invested in oil stocks,
what?
You might be. No, I said you're doing great if you're invested in oil stocks. But go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, for those that don't know, man, about 3 months ago when they started sending aircraft carriers to the Gulf, if you didn't start buying oil, that's kind of on you. Or you didn't at least start looking at oil as a potential prospect, that's kind of on you. In the same way that you buy, you buy, retail stocks in December and they sell off in February, so you can show the gain or the loss depending on what you're looking at, because everybody goes shopping in December. So you buy the stocks for the things that everybody needs at that time. So yeah, man. I want to get into that. Want to stay on the crypto topic for just 1 second. This is really relevant. This just dropped today from our man, and this is called why the Clarity Act just killed Bitcoin's future. This is very interesting. This is literally late breaking news that's happening as we speak. We'll get into this just for a second. I know, Terrence, if you don't mind, T-Qron, let me ask you. I know you have some thoughts on the Clarity Act and how it relates to Bitcoin and all crypto. What are your thoughts on that right now, man?
It didn't go through, and I don't know if it ever will. Everybody's been betting. They've been like, yeah, just wait till that act passes. Just wait. And that should have been last month or something like that. We're about to hit April any day now. Okay. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think you're gonna get the kind of clarity you're looking for in the crypto markets. But you just might, but not when you want it to happen. That's my take on it.
That's fair. All right. Well, let's check out it. This is some interesting stuff here. So yeah, I haven't even got to really get into it as it literally is breaking as we were going live.
This Clarity Act, this bill is careening out of control. And it's
shout out Rob, our man at Digital Asset News. Going to have him on again very soon. Clearly right now
Digital
he
Asset News.
he even Digital Asset News. Anyway, he looks tired. Our man, look at him. Look at Rob, dog. I hate to see Rob like this. You know what I mean?
I know why he's tired.
Yeah.
He's tired of making all that money and taking swims in that pool behind him. Duh.
Bro, I'm sorry. I think you mean, let's see here. I think you mean pool hot tub combo. Okay.
Oh.
Not just a pool. That's an indoor pool hot tub combo. Okay? Come on now.
Hashtag goals. Hashtag
Absolutely.
Goals.
I think he's
my
more
man
tired.
Rob. Our man Rob.
He's been watching this market. If you've been following him, my man is trying
know.
hard to keep up for everybody.
I
And
know.
he just did a great thing for taxes. If you have crypto and you're doing your taxes, he just did a great 1099 breakdown on how to do that. So good
Nice.
stuff there.
Nice.
But this is just breaking today. He just dropped this info today, and it's good stuff. Our man looks tired. Let's check this out.
not so much, it's not about the yield anymore. Now it's about double taxation and de minimis. This is what I'm talking about. There was a post. This is by TFTC, great one to follow. I'll try to link this in the description where they just talk mostly about Bitcoin. And it's about this Clarity Act, which everybody has been so fanatical about. Even myself, I'm, really like to get this passed and really like to go forward, but it looks like it is careening out of control. Here's what we got. And this whole post pretty much alludes to the fact that Brian Armstrong from Coinbase is sabotaging it. I don't necessarily want to say 100% I believe in that. I don't think there's enough evidence to say that, but the things that are talked about in here are damning. Here's what we got. Coinbase was quietly lobbying to kill a real de minimis tax exemption. First of all, what is a de minimis tax? A de minimis tax is essentially, it is so minimal to report these types of tax transactions that it makes it unfathomable and not useful for any type of tax central agency like the IRS here in the United States. So for a de minimis, what people were saying is like, hey, for Bitcoin, let's just give it to a certain point, like $600. And if you just, $600 or below, you don't have to say anything because it's de minimis. Now it looks like they're going to get away, just pretty much push that away. And we'll get into why that is awful, but it's actually just really essentially a sugar stick for nonsense. Anyhow, well, Bitcoin will push in one that applied only to stable coins. So they're going to give a de minimis tax to stable coins, which makes no sense to me anyhow, because a stable coin is essentially pegged to the value of the dollar, the value to a treasury, the value to 1.00 or a dollar. So why do we even need anything with the de minimis for a stable coin? I understand why Coinbase would be lobbying for that, because apparently they made $1.35 billion in stablecoin revenue last year. That's fine. This is a free market. If Coinbase is making a boatload of money, congratulations. That's great. And that's up 48% year over year, almost entirely from yield on the treasuries backing USDC. Here's the problem. Latest drafts from Representatives Horsford and Max Miller are stating that the Act framework has dropped. It gives a de minimis exemption to stablecoins, which makes sense. Because that's the easy thing, right? Oh, we'll give you de minimis to stablecoins. Okay, it's for $1, but who cares? But leaves Bitcoin out entirely. This means that in the white paper, from Satoshi Nakamoto, it states Bitcoin should be a medium of exchange. It should be used for transactional purposes. It's very hard to use it for transactional purposes if you have to record every single transaction you do. Like, hey, I bought a bubble gum today. I bought some coffee. I paid the gardener. I did all these different things. And now it's above this, so I have to pay some kind of capital gains tax. Ridiculous. That's not the worst part. It also keeps the punishing double taxation on Bitcoin mining fully intact, while carving out relief for passive validation like staking. So essentially, it's already a tough go for the miners. We just saw that Mara, our Marathon CEO, Fred Thiel, came out and said, look, we're going to sell roughly $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and we're going to pivot over to AI data centers and pretty much work along with AI because it's very expensive to do Bitcoin mining right now, which is fine. Again, free market. So if you're going to double tax them for the time that when they actually produce Bitcoin and then when they actually sell Bitcoin for the capital gains of that, that's a very difficult problem. So where are we going here? True exclusion for Bitcoin used as a medium of exchange. That's what it's supposed to be. Not a deduction, not an exemption, a complete carve out. Cash doesn't generate a taxable event, neither should Bitcoin. Now, when you read this, when I read it, so you're like, Rob, that's a very nice pie in the sky type of thing, but it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen because they're not going to allow that to happen in Bitcoin. And you know what? You're probably right, but it is a good thought exercise. But I thought about this more and more after I was sent this clip. This was Mark Moss versus Peter Schiff and yet another debate with Peter Schiff. Do we have to keep debating Peter Schiff? Do we know his stance? Does he know our stance? Why do we keep doing this? I didn't watch this. I mean, I'm sure it's got great content, but I'm just not going to watch it. But the snippet that was sent to me was what Peter Schiff said, which he was right. And he said, you know, Bitcoin is a great medium of exchange, and it can be. Well, he didn't really say it's a great medium of exchange, but he says gold is a medium of exchange. And now that we're going to tokenize gold, it's going to take away the thunder from Bitcoin as a medium of exchange. And I thought about that. I'm not going to play because it's classic Peter. It's fine. He's got his stake. I actually like Peter.
Peter's a heel. Big heel.
He says about that, and he says, yeah, we can just tokenize gold. You've still got a problem with de minimis tax. And he knows that. And if we take a look, well, first of all, would this make it beat Bitcoin? No. Bitcoin is still not scarce. It's finite. One of the blueprints for how things should go. El Salvador has it. Bitcoin is legal tender, which means there's no capital gains tax on Bitcoin exchange or appreciation. And I'm sure Peter would like this. In Germany, if you hold crypto for more than 1 year, the gains are tax-free for individuals. I'm just kidding. He's not going to like that. And then Singapore and United Arab Emirates, these countries generally do not impose capital gains tax on individuals for most assets. That would also include crypto, including crypto and foreign exchange. Now, there is something, I don't know why I didn't put it in here, but in the UK, if you have a gold token, that they say would be considered as a type of currency, and there is no capital gains. So just like we have one place, El Salvador, where it's legal tender, gold has one place where you can actually use it. And I know some people hate Trump or love Trump. It doesn't matter. Just listen to this for 17 seconds.
And Bitcoin, superpower of the world. Bitcoin's very powerful. It's all becoming powerful. So many people now, they want to pay you in crypto. They want to pay you in Bitcoin. And we have to be at the top of it in all of these, call it an industry.
It is an industry. And here's the thing. That guy ran as being the Bitcoin president. He hasn't done squat. Him and David Sachs, the crypto czar and AI czar and things like that. They haven't done anything. The only thing that they've done so far is given us a pump and dump Trump and a pump and dump Melania coin. That's it. I got to tell you.
Wait, there's a Melania coin? Where do I buy? Let's go.
That's all you. That's not me. Whew. I don't want none of those coins.
Okay.
Look at the charts.
If there's one thing I can push back on, I'd be like, what about that? The DFTC. He at least created the DFTC, and he was the person to classify crypto as an actual to force the U.S. to see cryptocurrency is an actual currency, at least in any
You're
form.
right.
Once again, not keeping up for the dude. I'm excited about the DFTC. I'm glad it exists now. However, one could make an easy argument that that would happen with or without him, and it was just a smart thing for a president to do. And true story, as he just showed, we're a little bit behind on it compared to like many other nations on the planet. I just try to give the whole story. I just try to, no opinion stated.
David Sachs and his reign as the crypto czar was a disaster. I don't think they've done anything. This Clarity Act is going way too long. Yes, they did pass the Genius Act. I'll give it to them. But come on, can we get some other things done? And the only way, again, for this de minimis tax to go away, or let's just call it what it is, fiat currency, is we get this guy to fulfill his promises. Anyhow, let me know what you think about that in the comments section. And lastly, before we get in a little Q&A, more dumbness. Bloomberg comes out and says that Kalshi has secured a license allowing it to offer margin trading to users. If you don't know what Kalshi is, it's kind of like Polymarket, predictive markets.
All right.
And they said that
let's touch on what, I mean, because he just dived into something completely different. So let's.
Well, we talked about
compartmentalize
Kalshi
what he
earlier.
just-
Yeah, I thought it was perfect because we talked about that earlier too. But yeah, man, go ahead, go, brother.
So just like you said, yes, he may have done something to help move crypto forward, right? But the majority of the people feel that he has not done enough. Okay. Because the moment he was inaugurated is when it went to this highest levels. Okay. And then ever since then, and most stocks have done the same ever since, and not just crypto, stocks as well. Like everything's just kind of gone down gradually, right? Gotta do more. You know, what have you done for me lately is the you know, and just like, if one thing, I don't know if you've noticed, but since Rob has been on our show, he's gotten a little edgier.
No, he's
I
always
like this.
When things like,
I like it.
He's
I like
I
it
mean,
a
he's always
lot.
kind of been this way, man. You just gotta like follow him. But yeah,
I
no,
never really
what
stood
it
out
is.
to me, but now he's telling it like it. And you did. I mean, you know, he's
I'm
great
gonna-
educationally. Like,
I'm gonna make a very hardcore common sense statement that so many people are so biased, and they don't know how so biased they are that they won't even see this as true. And they're not gonna be, and the people that will get upset are not ever gonna be the kind of people to actually go look at facts and numbers and truth.
he
They're
put
gonna
up the
feel how they
disclaimer.
feel. But the truth about it is, and you know, love it or hate it, like it or not, here's what happens. Okay. Once again, I am not making an opinion. This is from studies and facts. When there is a Democrat in office and we have financial problems, it is everybody else's fault that they won't go along with the White House and what they really want to do. And if everybody could just get on board, everything would be great. Case in fact, a COVID vaccine. And if everybody, and you get to turn on your TV and the popular late night talk show hosts that are really comedians and not tools of the establishment, and all of the pretty talking heads that get paid millions from the multi-billionaire companies tell you do this and everything will be great. The problem is the people questioning us and challenging us. And if we could stop literally, and we have the clips, if we could stop giving sick people health care that wouldn't take this shot, and if we could just all take this shot to the point of they blatantly lied, and the president of the United States was able to stand on a stage and go, you will not get this sickness, and you will not spread this sickness if you get this shot, we now know to be completely and 100% false. Yet at the time, and for months, it was if people would just do what they are told and listen to this man, everything would be fine. And you all aren't doing enough to participate and do what you're told. And that's the problem, right? Now, on the other side of it, when a Republican is in office, and this has been since I've been born, when it comes to things like this, it's he's not doing enough. He's not doing enough. He needs to do more. If he would do what we say, it's the White House fault for not doing what we want. Now, neither group has done enough. Both of them have screwed us. In the last two admins, neither one of them have not only not done what they've said, but they haven't taken care of the people. Now, I can say since the very beginning of time that's the case. Except for maybe like Abraham Lincoln. You know what I mean? Maybe Grover Cleveland in his first term. If you get into history, at the end of the day, none of these guys have your best interest at heart. And who controls this are the lobbyists and the people in their ears and the billionaires that get access to them, whether it be the president, the Congress, the House, the Senate, the World Economic Forum, for that matter, all ran by billionaires, not the people, serving the billionaires' wants and needs. So I absolutely agree that Trump has failed us in multiple ways, and including this crypto way. Has he moved more than any other president in history? Yes. Is he moving the way we need him to move? No.
Right.
So
fair enough.
But at the end of the day, we need to take a step back, you know what I mean, and see that all of it is corrupt. And the problem is when the people who tell you what to think are in power, they tell you to think positively about it, no matter how bad it is proven, and no matter how bad we prove they stood up there and lied to us all. Well, those are our guys, so it's okay. They didn't really mean it. But when the other guys don't do what we want when we want immediately, we get to go, what trash people they are. And it's like, guys, I don't care who you love and who you vote for. I can prove that they're all lying. And if you stopped being religious about your politics, and you just decided these people need to do the job I've elected them to do, you would see they're all failing you. They failed you when they had a D. They fail you when they have an R by their name. What they get you to do is hate your neighbor and demand more loyalty to them, and that's it. None of them have your best interest at heart.
Fair enough.
Fair
enough. We gotta just for today, top of the hour, we gotta I know we're realize a certain time
that was important to say. If we're gonna wade into
you're absolutely 100. You're 100% correct. Is on both sides, right? Fair enough. My thing is I don't care if you're the president or you're one of my good friends. If you say something and you don't live up to that, I'm sorry, bro. That's it. That's all I have to say about it. So don't say that you're gonna do this and get in office because of that, because a lot of people that have a lot of influence and stuff and a lot of money that were related to crypto. Okay. We know these people were giving him money. Okay. And all up in his ear. And that's why he was saying all those wonderful things. That's all I'm saying. So fair enough. But that's the way I look at it. I don't care if you're the president or the homie down the street. If you don't do what you say you're going to do, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I agree.
I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't mention it. I wouldn't mention it and just do it. That way it'd be like, oh my God, this guy, you know what I mean? Like, look at that. Have it in the back of your mind. Write it down. That's one of your goals. When it comes to fruition, let us know. That's how I feel. If I was running the world, I would run on things and I would promise things that were in my immediate, you know what I'm saying?
And you'd never get elected, but that's okay.
Okay, cool.
You're acting like the game isn't rigged, dog. The game is rigged.
I get it. And so that's all I want to say. That's the extent of that. So
speaking of the one thing that the game isn't rigged on, that you can pay attention to, that just moves on people's sentiment and where they're willing to put their money. This is that call sheet I wanted to show you.
That they're going to offer margin trading to users, a feature that would make the prediction market platform more appealing to sophisticated institutional investors. Sophisticated institutional investors. That's another word for inside investors. If you don't believe me, I just did a video yesterday about this, and I'm trying to do these like shorter videos, like 3 to 5 minutes, 3 to 6 minutes. And I explained to you how Polymarket is a cesspool and an abomination in the crypto markets, and it should go away. And the reason why I talk about that is because roughly 80% of you are losers and only 20% are winners. And that's up to like roughly $1,000. But the only ones that are winning are the inside traders, and that's 0.04% that are the massive gains of 3.7 billion. So when I hear stuff like this, it infuriates me because they are essentially leading retail down that road to just getting broke. Anyhow.
That's why I don't touch it.
Bro.
That's why I don't touch it. Thank you, Rob. That's why I don't touch it.
Okay, well,
But
as
it's out there.
an experienced investor, as somebody who has diversified bonds, made money in down markets the way you have, not only in crypto but multiple, like silver, gold, like oil, like you're in all of it a little bit. Why do you not touch poly market? Talk to a guy who doesn't know stuff and is like, oh, this is right here and it's very marketable. They do a great job of making it easy to play.
For what digital asset, for what Rob just said. Because bro, this is gambling. It's speculative. There's nothing behind what you're betting on. Just your belief. That's why. There's no fundamentals. There's no value to your belief. That's why. There's nothing that's holding the value of your bet up or down. It's just 50-50. Is it or is it not? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going to happen? It's prediction. Like, bro, it's the same as people betting on an NFL game, you know? But no, it's not. Actually, it's not. Because at least with the game, you have stats, right? With football, basketball, baseball, you have stats to go off of. So no, it's not. But it's just, oh, do you think Trump will strike on this day versus that day? And what is your reasoning for it? Like, you don't have any reasoning. That's just what you think. So that's why I am never going to get into it. That's not me. My dad loves gambling. I don't do gambling like that. Never did. The closest I ever got to gambling was those, when I first started in the markets. That's what I used to do, because you're like, oh, you see this running, oh, buy some of this, and next thing you know, you buy it and it just starts falling and you don't understand why, and you start selling at a loss, and then you start taking all these losses. But then you start studying the markets more and you go, wait a second, there's a reason why I lost, because I'm just chasing the wrong stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about the poly market and Kalshi or whatever. It's just the wrong stuff for me.
And that's what I love. That's why I wanted to honestly get your opinion on it, because you just shared with us. You're like, I got in and lost when I chased the dragon, if you will.
Yeah.
And I understand that. And I know people, even in my own family, that are successful doing that and can. But at the end of the day, you got to know what you're doing. And there is a cost of entry. You're going to lose money if you're trying to play the game at first. And I love how you bring it to personal for us. We can watch somebody talk about it, but you tell us really in real life, I've done this, and that's why you stay away from poly market on that level. I love that, dude. That's good.
That's me. That's just me. I mean, I'm sure somebody watching this right now has probably made like $1,000 or $100 million. From Kalshi or poly market. God bless you. And that's fire, bro. Congratulations. But you heard the percentage based on what Rob said, 80-20. Okay. That means 80 people out of 100 are suffering while 20 people are rejoicing. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So.
And so, man, as we come around the corner, we're about to kind of recap on it. There's still money to be made. The 3 stocks that one of our favorite guys is looking at right now that are good buys is Amazon. Because not that it's super cheap, but it is just a solid deal, a solid buy. Once again, not advice, just showing you what we covered. We did Amazon, we did T-Qron, and then we did PayPal, kind of the dark horse there. Those are some stocks to look into in this volatile time. In addition to that, it looks like we're going to be going through a bear market with Bitcoin for a little while. So either you're buying it on sale or you're hodling or diamond handsing to see how it all shakes out. And I think a lot of that also has to do with the Bitcoin mining situation that they're working on right now, and where and how. And then finally, kind of what's going on there. And then we also looked kind of at the oh gosh, I just had it. Yeah, I need to start taking notes as we do. So I was trying.
It's all gravy.
Yeah, the Bitcoin and then the tech stocks and the fact that Google and they are working on it is something that I actually had a long conversation with a very successful investor that I know this week about how Bitcoin mining, something I'll just pull it up real quick. Bitcoin mining is kind of becoming its own industry. And now you can do Bitcoin mining from your garage. You can buy the proper computers right now and you can start Bitcoin mining from your garage. So right now, and this is a great website. This is Coin Wars, WARZ, Coin Wars. But it's showing you right now, if you mine a Bitcoin, you'll make $3.53 in the United States. It has all over. It breaks down mining revenue, the cost of mining, the electricity cost of mining, how much Bitcoin is being mined per hour, how much Bitcoin is being mined per day that you can. It's rather brilliant here. There's all kinds of stuff. It even gives you an option on the units that are being used to mine Bitcoin. Bitcoin miners there proper. And you have just all kinds of great information on that. Your sources, where it's coming from, halving, hash rates. If you know about that, if you want to get into Bitcoin hash rate, to understand once you get into it. And if you're thinking, and I'll tell you, one of my favorite thoughts is, you don't have to buy a Bitcoin to get into Bitcoin. You can start Bitcoin mining, and you can learn so much about it relatively inexpensively, and you can start out creating your own investment. That is so brilliant. You start out creating your own investment, having your own Bitcoin babies. It's a brilliant thing, and it's very interesting. And I think it's something we're going to have to be paying attention to as it rolls. What are your thoughts on independent Bitcoin mining?
My thoughts are, brother, we gotta roll. But yeah, that's something we can look into on the next episode. We are hitting. I literally, I'm at a real crunch right now. So
okay.
But,
all right. Well, watch our guy.
But mining is something that I've always been interested in. It's just beyond me. But we'll dive into it on the next one.
Yeah, man.
How big he is? I don't care how big the sword is, fam. He don't even got no protection out here. David doubled down on something in there that we got to take into consideration right here. He said, who is this? Uncircumcised Philistine. He said that 3 times. He said that in the verses before. He said it again. Then he told it to the king. Because here's what we got to understand. Circumcision is the covenant that we make with God. So when we make a covenant,
I was like,
with
what
God,
are we talking about here?
God makes that.
Are you not listening?
I was like, wait, what are you talking about here? No, now I understand. But I'm just
I don't
like,
care
wait.
how big the sword is, fam. That says this identifies what's good in your interest. It identifies how you opt that we make with God. So when we make a covenant with God, or when God makes that covenant, this is not a contract that says this identifies what's good in your interest. It identifies how you operate and how I protect you. It's not about just cutting the dead flesh. It's about cutting the ego, cutting the fear, cutting the doubt, cutting the greed, cutting everything that misaligns me from you. Because in Deuteronomy 8:18, it says, it is God who gives us the ability to produce wealth, watch this, according to his promise and covenant. When David said he uncircumcised, he's like, hey, y'all, he don't even got no protection out here. I don't care how big he is. I don't care how big the sword is. Fam, he don't even got no protection out here. I'm circumcised. I got protection. You looking at the size, I'm looking at the promise. Oh my God.
All right. You looking at the size, I'm looking at the promise. You ain't even got.
I don't even know what to say with that one. I don't even know what to say about that one.
That's depth, man. That's deep. That's deep spirituality right there, man. It has to do with the covenant promise. A covenant is a deep promise. It is, once again, as he kind of broke down, if you heard, a covenant isn't about what's our mutual interests. A covenant agrees, I live this way, and you provide me the protection and ability I need to shake and move the way I need to shake and move. It's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing. And we have that with God, and God provides our wealth to us because of his promises and our connection to him. So, out of everything, no matter what's going on, we got a promise, man. And we live in that promise because we are visionaries. T-Qron, tell the people how and where they can find you.
Hit me on the social media tip, T-Qron, on the Facebook, the Instagrams, TikTok. Holla at me.
All right, man. And the last T-Qron Tuesday was amazing. We appreciate that. Guys, you got to check it out. T-Qron, much like our boy Rob, you know what I mean? He's coming with some new hype. You know what I'm saying? He's coming with some realness. Also, man, what are the numbers? You're blowing up on that, right? What are the numbers on that right now?
Oh, you talking about the new Tuesday T-Qron
Yeah.
Tuesday drop? So we dropped it on Tuesday, about 1,000 already within like 4 days, which is pretty tight. Because I'm not gonna lie, man, it used to take me like a week just to get 500. Mind you, I'm not putting any marketing dollars behind this. This is just me posting. So
Yep.
to be able to get 1,000 within 3 or 4 days now, okay, so it looks like they watching. Thank you to everybody.
Well, and not
that's
only that,
tuning in.
man, I want you to focus on the shares as well, right? There are a ton of shares, and that really, man, that's a lot more. How do you say it? That's a lot more indicative of the success of something, right? Because people can bot views, and they can bot this and that. They cannot bot shares. You know what I mean?
Right.
A
right.
share somebody
and
you stuff enough. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Right, and to be fair, the share count within Facebook also includes the author sharing it. You get what I'm saying? So if I keep sharing it, that just includes it. But yes, the numbers are going up, the views are going up. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Oh, look, Mike got it pulled up. Bang.
Yeah, we got to go out on this one. We got to go out on this. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You got to find T-Qron. If you don't know where he is, just go to PT Pod. Ask us, hey, I want to talk to T-Qron. I know a guy who knows him, and I bet I can get you in touch with him. And he's right here on the show every Monday. Guys, every week, tune into PT Pod. Same bad time, same bad channel. Amazing stuff going on. Thank you for making this the best and number one and most fun and most real crypto finance show on the entire internet. We love you. We're going to go out.
And if you don't believe us, and if you don't believe that's the case, ask Rod from Digital Asset News. He says so too. Shout out.
And if you don't believe us, ask your mama, because she's a huge fan. All right, we're going to leave you on the T-Qron Tuesday. Thank you so much. We love you.
Not the mama.
We are out.
The life that I'm living is pure hell. My mind isn't trapped in a 7x2 cell. Got a lot of shit to say, but nobody to tell. When somebody throw me off at the top of this Drew Hill, nobody couldn't stop me. The docs that I'm too ill. But here's something to pop, so I'm dropping these 2 pills. Got no other option, I'm sharpening 2 skills. So they better call the office, Blue Cross and the Blue Shield. So often the truth heals, let them know that it is real. Like them 6 million Jews that were killed in Israel. They grip steel, ain't nobody get happy like Israel. You fifth wheels, you shouldn't be looking at his deal. Yes, I will kill tracks with a mill stack and still rap for them ill cats with real gas who don't feel rats. In the fuel that's burning inside of me, it is irony. I am not what I seem, they have divided me. Pedal to the floor, let's go, rock till it's empty. Straight to the edge of insanity, don't tempt me. Whether in a 10 speed or a Bentley, they will resent me. Highway to hell.
I keep rolling down, I keep rolling, I keep rolling down the same.